Well, fellas, we have made it to the end of the regular season. We have made it to the end of the ledger, and I was sitting pretty after my last few weeks, and now I'm sitting here right back in the red with you guys, and we're looking to finish strong, right? We're looking to finish the year on a high note, build for next year, maybe squeak into 6-6, get to a bowl game. Looking to just finish on a high note before we start planning for next year, guys. But rivalry week is notoriously difficult to pick, both against the spread and straight up. You truly throw the records out the window in a lot of these matchups, and we have the added element, the added layer of some of these being the last matchup on schedule for quite some time, especially when you look out west with the conference realignment taking shape out there. So, guys, let's start with Mitch. He had a big week last week, 3-1 in his picks. Mitch, what do you got this week to bring us home in the regular season?
Oh, it was about time. It was about time to get some right. We've got a 3-part special this week, and we're going all parlays. Last week, the rhythm was just pick straight up against the spread. We're deviating from that. We're feeling our oats a little bit. We're trying to salvage any part of this season. So we're going to go a 4-legger to start, and this is a just win baby parlay. Let's go Arizona, West Virginia, Florida State, and Michigan, all on the money line. 50 to win 126. Listen, Arizona, West Virginia are playing much lesser opponents in Arizona State and Baylor. Those should be easy wins. Michigan is certainly taking the most risk into consideration when they're the third team. Ohio State is ranked number 2 according to the playoff committee, and Florida State is playing without their quarterback against Florida. So both of those easily could go either way, but I'm going to roll with the teams that I've backed all season long. Like I said, that would go a long way into getting us not only closer to even, but into second place potentially as well. Second play, we're going to do the Sun Belt special. We're going to take James Madison on the money line, Arizona State and Troy on the money line as well. That's 40 to win 83. Arkansas State is not the favorite in this game. They're taking on Marshall. It's a bad Marshall team that has just gotten wrecked all throughout conference play. Arkansas State put up 77 a week ago. I think I like the Red Wolves offense to dominate Marshall in that game. And then Troy's defense has just been smothering, so I like them as well. James Madison, they'll bounce back this week, I have no doubt. Tough game against Coastal Carolina, but give me the Dukes in that one. And then finally, we got to go the Iowa special. We're going to take Iowa on the money line plus the under 26.5. Trey, a lot of folks have become generationally wealthy betting on Iowa unders this year. I would like to join that pack as well. Nebraska's favored right now by 2.5 in some places, and I don't understand totally why that's the case. They are at home. They're certainly not the better defense at home, and I don't totally know where their points are going to come from. So Iowa doesn't have a lot to play for. They've won the Big Ten West this week, but we're still going to roll with the Hawkeyes. It's 10 to win 31. Fellas, let's have ourselves a rivalry week, huh?
And Mitch has, done really well picking the money lines this year. He's number 1 overall in the transfer portal pick'em with a bunch of really talented writers that cover the sport really well. So here's hoping that works out for you, shifting that strategy this week. Mitch, Garrett, what do you got for us this week?
Well, let me tell you, this week is just it's rivalry week, so we got to start to take a little bit of risks. We have a couple of hedges, but we're going to take some risks and just go with what we think. So first off, we're going to start with what I think is a bit of an easier one. I'm picking Oregon minus 13.5. This really has nothing to do with the disrespect towards Oregon State. I just think Oregon has way more to play for at this point. I think that they're motivated. I think they know that they have to look impressive and do a little extra work to get into the playoff. You combine that with, the motivation of winning your rivalry game that you didn't win last year. And so I'm picking them 30 to win 27-27. Guys, I've decided to do, I decided to stop believing last week was what I said. I said, just stop believing. Don't believe that it's possible. I have the under, and I actually believe that's a 26.5 is what I saw there. I have it at 30.5. That was the number from last week. But there's a reason why it's the number from last week, because I didn't change it in my graphic. I just kept Iowa slotted in right there, and I didn't need another logo because you could put almost any logo on the other side over there, and I still think the under has a chance to hit. So under, it should be 26.5, 20 to win 18-18 on this one. Then we have a couple of parlays here. First parlay, we've got Ole Miss. They're playing the Egg Bowl, obviously. Mississippi State, not very good. Toledo's looked really, really good. They're rolling this year. And then Mizzou's playing Arkansas. Arkansas has been kind of bad as well. And I think Missouri has been a solid team. So I'm picking all those teams to just win this week. That's going to be 25 to win 27-53. And then we're just going to go with the big dogs in the SEC West. Alabama minus 14.5 against an Auburn team that couldn't beat the Aggies last week. Let me know which one they couldn't beat. It was Texas A&M Aggies. Yes, that's right. It's those New Mexico State Aggies. Gross. If you can't even get close to them, how are you going to touch Bama, who's playing, again, with motivation similar to Oregon? They know they need a little bit of work to do to get in the playoffs. So I think they'll come out real sharp. And then, of course, LSU minus 11.5 against A&M. There's a lot of reasons why I want to pick LSU in this one, but fundamentally, they have an awesome offense, and A&M is turning out Jalen Henderson at the quarterback spot. Maybe, I don't know if Max Johnson's available yet, but it doesn't really matter. A&M's offense hasn't been good. They didn't look that good last week against who cares, Abilene Christian of West Texas and whoever else and what. Nobody cares who they were playing last week. They didn't look good on offense. And so if you can't score points, you're not going to keep up with LSU. The argument is LSU has a bad defense. Are they worse than Abilene Christian? Are they worse than Mississippi State? I don't know. I'm not convinced. So I'm picking both of those teams to win 35 to win 94-27. Again, it's rivalry week, so we got to go with some stuff that I just think just makes sense. It's the end of the season. We're going to just try to, round it up and make it look somewhat respectable.
Bet what you think you know. That's all that any of us can do, especially on a week like this. Guys, I'm going to try to close out strong after my first OFR week of the year last week. I'm going to start with the Kansas Jayhawks, and, they might be trotting their third-string quarterback out there this week. Jason Bean, I think, was cleared to play in the Sunflower Showdown, but did not. Just didn't get a good week of practice in, so they held him out. Not sure who they're starting at quarterback this week against Cincinnati, but I don't think it matters. Cincinnati gives up 5 yards per carry on the ground, and Kansas is, of course, one of the best rushing teams in the nation. I think they're going to waltz to this victory and cover up on the road. Navy and SMU over 46.5. Navy can really drag this down. I'm not overestimating Navy's ability to drag this total down, but this is the lowest total SMU has been involved in this year, and I trust SMU's offense at home to get it done and put up quite a few points. They're also looking to make a statement. They're looking to show that they should be ranked in the CFP poll. Not sure if they'll get in tonight, but if they don't, they really need to make a statement so that they have a shot, albeit an outside one, at a New Year's Six Bowl if they're able to win out. And then I've got my spoiler alert parlay. 2 teams with opponents who are leaving the conference. Who knows when they're going to play again? They're going to be playing all out. All I need them to do is keep it close. Wazoo plus 16.5. I love my Huskies. They have not beaten a team by more than 10 since September 23rd, guys. When they played Cal, that's the only Power 5 team they've beaten by more than 10 points this year. And Texas has beaten somebody by 10 just once since September 30th. It was a hapless BYU team coming down to Austin. So also Texas Tech, the other half of this parlay, plus 13. Something in the air, man. I've been saying this all year that this is going to be a wild game. It's going to have a lot on the line for Texas. I thought Tech would have more on the line, but they are, playing for pride, playing to send the Longhorns to the SEC with a fat L. And Tech is 7-1 straight up under Joey McGuire in November and December so far in his first 2 years. So he could just be a November wonder coach, and I'm going to buy into that narrative. Hope he keeps it close here. My last parlay is the send 'em home angry parlay. That bird is staring into my soul, but I think that Iowa can get it done on the road at Nebraska. Like you said, Mitch, I don't know where the offense comes from for either team, so I'm going to lean on the defense here. Maybe a defensive score, a special team score for Iowa to get something cooking. And tipping my hand a little bit for what I'm going to talk about in the regular show, the preview show this week. I've got Ohio State winning this one outright for the first time since 2019, beating Michigan in the game, cementing themselves as an all but lock for the college football playoff. And that's going to be 10 to win 42-67. Guys, eat a lot of good food this week. Enjoy the football nonstop starting Tuesday night. Bet responsibly, enjoy the games, and we'll see you guys next time.
gracious. Yep. How about